promise this is not like a plug for you guys because you work at a company that deals with secrets. But one thing I learned through Lapsus is how important a secrets management program is. And it's one of these things, like I said, I learned a lot from that breach. And I feel like a lot of people are only addressing certain parts of a comprehensive secrets management program. And so what I would say, if you're an organization and you want to, you want to avoid, kind of the Lapsus style, attackers and, kind of how they pivot, because I only told the external internal story. There's a whole nother story about what they did when they got into the network, which involves a lot of secrets management components. And so the way I've broken down secrets management programs now that I build places and I consult my other CISO friends is in 4 phases. And if you're a security practitioner or you're a leader or whatever, like I would suggest trying to emulate this because it's been kind of passed to those 40 CISOs I talked to. So in a secrets management strategy, it's not just about detecting and preventing. There's 4 areas. There's detect, prevent, respond, and educate inside of a comprehensive secrets management program. And so the first area is detect, which is basically you're bound to, at this moment in time, in all of your repos, in all of your Slack, in all of your documentation places, you're bound to have hard-coded secrets. No company is immune from it. It happens everywhere. And so you have to find a technology that can detect where they are latently are right now. And so for us, we used a couple tools. I know that GitGuardian does stuff like that. And so you have to have a detection mechanism, and you have to we built it into our red team. Our red team's mandate is to help us scan for secrets everywhere. And then we built it into our build pipelines, and we used, regex for custom secrets too, that were only, ours, right? Because a lot of the tools out there today have regex for certain types of secret certificates, usernames and passwords, API keys. But we had some custom stuff too that we had to build ourselves. So that's part of the detect branch. Then there's prevent, which you want, the detect is to stop the bleeding kind of, and the prevent is to, help you build for the future. And so really we found the most efficient thing is pre-commit hooks in the development lifecycle. To stop developers from committing secrets anymore. And in your pre-commit hook, applying a pop-up that basically says, hey, either a command line warning or a web pop-up if you're using the web components that says, hey, our preferred method of storing secrets is this. And so we went with, Vault. And so that's in the respond category. Is you got to give them some way to do it correctly. You can't just block them from doing it if you don't give them a correct way to do it. So we went with Vault. And then our level up on top of having, a great policy for vaulting secrets was also rotating them automatically with the vaulting technology. And so that's in our respond branch. And then the last is educate. And we had to go on a tear about educating all developers and employees on not sharing secrets verbatim in chat channels, in documents, in anywhere. We built a custom platform to share user-based secrets. We educated people on password manage and corporate password managers. And those are like the 4 areas that we had to build a comprehensive program about. And so it's going to become like, it's not on that CISO mind map right now, right? Like that I talked about earlier, right? But it's a big, big thing that's coming down the pipe that people are not addressing, and they need to address, because when you get breached, a lot of times the TTPs of the attackers, especially ones like Lapsus, are to move around your network silently and not trip any of your EDR or any of your internal controls. They are literally just collecting documentation and credentials until they feel like they have enough that they can strike so fast that your SOC can't even detect them or do anything, with many accounts that they've gathered and to achieve their objective. And it's just not possible to do that. So the way kind of the vaccine is having this secret management program so they can't pivot, and that your other tools have a better chance of detecting them. They have to resort to different things like installing software and stuff like that. And you can catch them, doing that with EDR and, NIPS and stuff like that. So that was one of the things I learned at UbiSoft. We built that program. It was very successful. People, that I used to work with are still there using that program today. So.
That's also, we couldn't have paid for a better.
I know. I was thinking about it. I'm like, people are going to think that they paid me. No. This is absolutely sound CISO advice. I just, if people are out there want to know like where you should invest in your program, that's an area you should invest in. So.